Hey everyone, welcome back to our new series where I break down our sales script in extreme detail while I have the script up on the screen in front of me, in front of you. Reason being is I'm a visual learner, and if I read through the scripts and I explain to you why we're asking the questions, how we're asking the questions, in what order we are asking the questions, I think you'll get a really good grasp on why this script works so well and how you can use it in your own fitness business to make more sales tomorrow, but more importantly, not feel icky about sales. So the first part of the sales script is a phase I would call connection. Now, this script has been heavily influenced by Brooke Triplett, Andrew Poulton, Matt Ryder, and Jeremy Miner. So thank you so much. This script would not be what it is without them. I've also made adjustments over the years to tailor it more to local group gyms. Now, the first section, connection phase. What we want to do is simple. We want to connect with the prospect quickly. We want to double check, is it a good time for a chat? And we want to remind them of why they booked in a call or a consultation to begin with. So ring, 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 ring. Hi, is that Sally? It's just Jamie from Breakthrough Active. How are you? Question mark. They'll say, yep, fantastic. I feel great. Thanks for asking. You don't want to, how's the weather? How's the weekend? How's your dog? Just keep it short and simple. You don't want to add much fluff here. Otherwise, it will start to feel like a sales call. So, hi, is that Sally? It's just Jamie from Breakthrough Active. How are you? Good, thanks. Fantastic. Great. From there, great. I just wanted to check, is now a good time for a chat still? Question mark. Effectively asking them permission to move forward on the call. If it is not a good time for a chat and they are driving and they are out walking or they are having lunch or they are with their friend or their families or their kids, at the end of the call, if it's not a good time for a chat, it's very easy for them to say, hey, I'm really busy at the moment. Can you send me through more information? Hey, I'm really busy at the moment. Let me think about it. So you want to ask them, is now a good time for a chat? If it's not, try to reschedule them at a time that it is. I have gone through so many calls over the years when it wasn't a good time for a chat. I thought, why not? May as well. They're driving. Maybe they can pull over. Maybe 1 out of 10, I get across the line because they know their card number off by heart or their BSB and account number off by heart. But if it's not a good time and they're distracted, just reschedule the call. Now, once I say, yep, now it's perfect, got time for a chat. Okay, great. I can see you booked in some time today to chat about our X name challenge. Pause. What sparked your interest? Notice how I asked that question. What sparked your interest? You upwardsly inflect a curious tone, a questioning tone, and they will tell you exactly why they booked in a call. Oh, I saw that it was a 6-week beginner challenge. I've had some time off training and I really need to get back into things. Again, that question will melt the coldest prospect on earth because you've been there, I've been there, where you have that sales call. They reached out to you, they booked in with you. When you call them, they feel like you're bothering them or they're annoyed. No. Let's set the frame here. I'm the expert. You reached out to me. You booked in with me. Like, why are you here? And instead of saying, why are you here? I can see you booked in some time today to chat about our 28-day challenge. What sparked your interest? Pause, upwardsly inflect, a curious tone, and they will always respond with, I saw something about it being a beginner challenge. I'm over the age of 40. I know you guys work with ladies over the age of 40. You want them to remember what they saw in the ad, why they clicked on it, why they booked in a call, what they saw on your thank you page to have this call to begin with. At this point, you have set the frame that, like, hey, you booked in a call. We're going to have a chat. This is for you. I'm not bothering you. Now, once they answer that question, occasionally it can be, yep, fantastic. I saw it was a 6-week beginner challenge. I've had some time off training and I just need to get back into things. But occasionally they will start to ramble. Yeah, I saw the ad. I clicked on it. Now I wanted to do this 6-week challenge. I've done 28-day challenge before. I've lost 10 kilos. I've had surgery. I've come back. And they just continue to go on. And this section here can go to 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. If you don't, tactfully interrupt that prospect. Okay, So Sally, I can understand that you do want to achieve this goal. Is it okay if we take a step back so I can ask you a few questions to find out exactly where you are now compared to where you want to be? Now, if you do that, that will allow you to get back on track with your script, with your framework. Because if they start rambling and they take control of the call, they'll start asking you questions about the program. They'll start asking questions around the price. So if someone's rambling, yeah, I just want to get back into things. I want to lose 10 kilos. I'm on medication. I don't like certain types of nutrition. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. Sally, thank you so much for sharing with me that you want to achieve XYZ goal. Before we go any further into that, is it okay if we take a few steps back so I can ask you a few questions to find out exactly where you are now compared to where you want to be? If you interrupt someone and talk about yourself, that is rude. If you interrupt someone and ask them another question about themselves, that is not rude. You are just doing it in a curious manner because generally you want to know. And if you're active listening and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, cool, understand. Got it. Hey, Sally, hang on 1 second, just so I'm clear. You want to achieve XYZ goal. Is it okay if we take a few steps back so we can find out exactly where you are now compared to where you want to be? And ultimately, that is how you want to start a sales call. So you want to connect quickly. You want to remind them of why they booked in a phone call, and you want to get back to the framework of the script. So the sales call would start. Hi, is that Sally? Yep, it's just Jamie, familiar from Breakthrough Active. How are you? Regardless of what they say, you don't want to ask more open-ended questions which can result in them rambling. Great. I'm glad to hear you're having a nice day. Just wanted to check, is now a good time for a chat still? If it's not a good time for a chat, I would highly recommend you try and reschedule or try and rebook them. Once they say yes, effectively giving you permission to have this call, I can see you booked in some time today to chat about our X name challenge. What sparked your interest? Now that will take about 1 to 2 minutes and it sets the entire frame for the call. That you are the expert, they booked in with you, I'm going to ask some questions and you're going to answer my questions. And when people say control the call, that is what they mean. Because if they start rambling or asking questions that are way further down the script, it's very, very hard to get them back on track. So I hope this makes sense. If you start your sales calls or your sales consultations with this style, you will end up getting more sales. Now, if it's an outbound call and they haven't booked in a phone call, you would give them a call. Hey, it's just Jamie from XYZ Gym. How are you? Question mark. Okay. I can see that you recently registered your interest in our X name challenge. Does that ring a bell? And they'll say, yes. Great. Just wanted to see if it's a great time for a chat. Is now still okay? Yep. Cool. And what sparked your interest when you saw our 28-day or 6-week challenge ad? So it's very, very, very similar, but slightly different in regards to because they haven't booked in a call with you. We're calling them, but they've still requested information for your program, so you still have the frame. Part 2 of the sales call is what I would call situation and gap. Well, what is their current situation and what is the gap? Where are they now compared to where they want to be? A lot of salespeople struggle because they try and sell products and services to prospects that don't want them because you haven't done a good enough job creating that gap in the first place. And someone who is 30 kilos overweight, you might think to yourself, well, how can't you see the problem? Why don't you want to change? But humans are phenomenal at lying to themselves. They will say, oh, just 30 kilos. It's just 30 kilos. Oh, it's just been 30 years, because they want to downplay the seriousness of being overweight by 30 kilos for 30 years. So this part of the script is really creating that gap. And the prospect should be aware that, hey, like 30 kilos for 30 years is a serious problem that I need to face, and I need to make some changes today without you being blunt and telling them that that is the case. Also in situation and gap, we want to identify, well, what have they tried previously? So once you've got them back on track, and you enter your script or your framework, the first question I like to ask is, what's your age? So Sally, tell me, what's your age? And Sally will say, oh, I'm 44 years old. Now, if the prospect is still cold and still not opening up, you would say 44 years young, and you'll be surprised at how many people laugh at that joke. Again, just builds that little bit more rapport and helps you connect even more. Now, the next question will be, okay, Sally, what is your number one goal? And the reason why I ask, what is your number one goal? And why I don't ask, what is your weight loss goal or your fitness goal or your strength goal, is because you've just met this person. You don't know what their goal is. And if you say, what is your weight loss goal? And they say, oh, I don't have a weight loss goal. I want to get fit. Instantly, you lose rapport. So by asking, what is your number one goal? It allows them to expand. You can take notes if you want. And then from there, you would question all the things that she wants to achieve. So Sally would say, oh, I just want to lose, 30 kilos and just be a little bit more fitter and a little bit more active so I can play with my kids. Okay, Sally, 30 kilos. Like, do you mind me asking, what's your current weight? Oh, it's 110. Okay. And so your goal weight is to get to 80 kilos. Now, at this point is when you start to create the gap. And Sally, like, how long has it been since you have been 80 kilos? And notice how I slow down and notice how I downwardly inflect, because I'm asking a really serious question. So Sally, like, how long has it been since you have been 80 kilos? And by me asking it that way, it's going to force her to really think about that question. She'll, oh, like, you know what? It's been 20 years. And you would just say back to her, so 20 years. 20 years. And they would say, yeah, like, I guess it has been a while. And Sally, over the last, like, I guess, couple of years, like, have you had attempts of losing weight in the past, and how has that gone? Oh, well, yeah, like I've lose 3 kilos or 5 kilos, and I just continually put it back on. Okay. You mentioned also, Sally, being fitter for your kids. Can you tell me like more about that? Oh, well, yeah, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, my son's at AFL training, and they're all running around on the oval, and sometimes the other parents join in. And I just can't do it, and I'm really embarrassing. Yeah, like just women my age, like people that are even older than me, are running around and playing with their kids, and I just doesn't make me feel good. Okay. And Sally, we spoke about losing 30 kilos and you getting fit for your kids, but like, what about yourself? Like you individually, what would losing 30 kilos and getting fitter do for you? Oh, just like, it would allow me to have more energy, more energy. Yeah. Like I wake up every single day and I'm exhausted. You're exhausted. Every single day is a struggle. I'm always tired when I get home from work, and I have a bit of a short fuse with my kids. So she said, I want to get fitter, active, and lose weight. And all of a sudden, Sally now wants to lose 30 kilos to be more active with her kids so she can run around at the AFL training and to have more energy every single day so she isn't a mum with a short fuse. See how I've created the gap of where she is now compared to where she wants to be. And Sally has thought those thoughts the last 15, 20 years, but now we are confronting that this is a real problem with real consequences. And if you do this the right way, you'd be surprised at how much easier sales becomes, because you know this person has a problem and you have a solution that can fix them. So why wouldn't they fucking join? And when you have that level of conviction because they have a problem and you have a solution, why wouldn't they join? And I encourage you guys to really work on this part of the script. Far too often, people say, I want to get fitter. Oh, fantastic. We can help you get fitter. Well, tell me more. What does fitter mean to you? I want to lose weight. And how much weight do you want to lose? Like, 20 kilos. 20 kilos. Yeah. Okay. What is your current weight? Oh, it's 100. And in case you want to get down to 80, when was the last time that you were 80 kilos? Oh, like it's been 20 years. Like 20 years. And if you lost this weight, what would that mean for you? Oh, I'd have more energy to play with my kids. To have more energy, yeah, I'm exhausted every single day of the week. And this is rattling off my tongue because these are how sales calls go. If you ask these questions the right way and you do it with love, kindness, and respect for the prospect, and respect that person fucking time for taking time out of their day to talk to you. So I cannot stress this enough. If you are struggling with sales, you cannot sell shit to people that don't want it. So you have to create that gap from where they are now compared to where they want to be. Now, once you have established that gap and it's very clear, you will then move into, well, what have they tried previously? Okay, great. So, Sally, I fully understand your goal. What have you tried previously to lose these 30 kilos? Like, have you worked with a personal trainer or group gym previously? And Sally will say, yeah, I've just been to 24-hour gym, and I was going and I was on the treadmill and I just didn't really enjoy it, and I just felt like I needed that accountability. You need the accountability. Yeah, I'd go and I'd stop and I'd go and I'd stop and I'd go and I'd stop. Okay, Sally, and besides like going to that 24-hour gym and building some momentum and stopping, have you tried anything else? Oh yeah, I went to this group gym once. It was an F45 and same thing. I really enjoyed it, but just kind of fell off the wagon. And Sally, why do you think that was? Just again, like I was going well and I went on a holiday and I came back and I just didn't get back into it. So like the accountability, perhaps, yeah, it's exactly what I need. Someone to help me get my butt through the front door. Now, why I love this question so much is, have they trained previously? What you're really getting from is, well, had they been to a 24-hour gym? Had they been to a group gym? Had they worked with a personal trainer? Had they worked with an online coach? And my favorite part about this is what they tell you in this section is a lot of the information you need at the end of the call to make your program sound it has exactly what she is looking for. So if Sally has struggled with accountability her whole life, you better fucking believe it that in pillar 3 at the end when we pitch, and last but not least, Sally, the third pillar is tons of support and accountability. You mentioned before that you were at 24-hour gym and you started and you stopped and you started and you stopped. Well, at our gym, every single session you'll have a trainer by your side. And if you miss a session, Sally, you are going to get a text message because we want you to get your butt through this front door. Also, with this question here, you can really identify what had they paid in the past. If they've paid F45 or a CrossFit gym or Anytime or whatever the case may be, you have a rough idea of how much they've paid. So if they've paid 60 a week in the past and your program is 60 a week, there should be no cost objection, like, because they know what it is. Where this is difficult is if they've never done anything ever, which is incredibly rare. Well, then you do need to educate them a little bit more about what your product is. So, recapping situation and gap. First things first, I don't care how good you are at sales or how good your product is, you cannot sell stuff to people that don't want it because they haven't got a gap. They haven't got a desire to change. And you need to walk them down a path to make them understand just how serious that problem is. Because you know it and I know it, if Sally is 30 kilos overweight for another 10 years and she enters her 50s, she's going to have a lot more problems in her health than lacking energy. And this is why I fucking love sales. Like, it is not sleazy. I am not twisting someone's fucking arm. Like, we have sold 6,500 plus people into gyms the last 12 months, and we haven't had one complaint from an owner about someone feeling like they were pushed or pressured into a sale, because we take them through this process. What sparked your interest? What is your goal? How long has it been since you've been there? Have you tried to work on this in the past? If you achieve this goal, what does that mean next? And if you uncover a big enough gap, why wouldn't they do your program? I hope that makes sense. I'm going to end on this. Never ever badmouth any solution they've tried previously. Just ask questions. So if someone says, I've been to 24 gyms, oh, you don't want to go there, there's no support and accountability. Well, that might be true. Oh, so you went and you stopped, like, why was that? Oh, I went on holiday and I lost motivation. And when you lost motivation, like, did you end up going back in, or what happened? Oh, I I felt like I was forgotten about and I ended up canceling my membership. So don't badmouth any product or any solution. It makes you look terrible and it makes you look like a salesperson. Okay, so part 3 of the sales script breakdown is timetable and logistics. I would love to change this entire section of the script to be called make sales as easy as possible before they speak to you over the phone or they're in front of you for an in-person consultation. Now, why my sales team are amazing, why we do focus on the close percentage, how to sell more people that show up to the phone call, a lot of the effort is spent upstream. Well, how can we have an offer that generates the most amount of interest? How can we get those leads to schedule in a call or pick up the phone? Once they do schedule a phone call or pick up the phone, what information can we send them to help them make the best possible decision? So when the time comes and we do ask for that card number, it's as easy as possible. So say if someone's booked in a phone call or booked in an in-person consultation, you should be sending the timetable. You should be sending your address. If they have to park in a special section, you would send where do they park. If they arrive at the gym early and the session's on, what do they do? A to Z, break down every single step to make this process as smooth as possible for that person who may be a little bit nervous about starting at your facility. So with us, they book in a phone call, they get redirected to a thank you page, a transfer a trust page. There's a video of the owner saying, hey, thanks for booking a call. Below this video is more information. That information is what your program includes. We have program bonuses, then also frequently asked questions, which those frequently asked questions will help overcome their objections. Now, before the phone call, we also automate some messages where, hey, please look at our timetable. Before the phone call, hey, it's super important you look at the timetable to make sure this suits you. So make sales as easy as possible. Think outside the box. What else could you do? Could you send them to your website, your Google My Business? Do you have pinned reviews on Instagram that you want them to look at? Do you want them to join your Facebook group? How can you make sales easy for yourself? So they booked in a phone call started, we've connected, we found out what their goal is, and we've also found out what have they tried previously. Now we want to square away all logistics before we get into the why, the emotional part of the call. So we sent you a few text messages and emails before our call. Did you get a chance to look at the timetable? 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. Okay, great. Thanks for that. Typically for new starters, 3 times a week is a great starting point. We find this is the golden amount for you to optimize your results here. It also gives your body a time to recover between sessions. The worst thing you can do is come out too hard, too fast. Plus, we want this to be sustainable over a long period of time. We find that 3 sessions is manageable for most people with their schedule. Is 3 sessions a week doable for you? Is 3 sessions a week possible for you? Notice the pause, the upwards inflection, another curious question, curious tone, and they will say, yep. Okay, cool. You get access to the whole timetable. What ones do you think will be best for you? And they will usually say, oh, like mid-morning, the 9:30 is going to be perfect for me. So at that point, they've booked in a phone call, you've connected, you find out their goal, what have they tried previously, and they've just told you they can come at 9:30 3 times a week. Again, why wouldn't they join? It allows the prospect to verbalize, yep, this is going to work for me. It's close to my home, close to my work, and I can do this. Now, if they haven't got a copy of their timetable and they say no, that's no problem. We fully understand that everyone is busy. I'll run you through the times now. Are you looking for mornings, mid-mornings, or afternoons? What you don't want to do is start throwing them. We've got 38 sessions. Monday, 5:45, 6 a.m., 6:45, 9:30, 4:15, 5 p.m., 5:45. On Tuesday, so on and so forth. If you just say mornings, mid-mornings, or afternoons, and they say, actually, I think mornings would work best for me. Also, is it okay if we can do some mornings, some others? Of course, we have many members that mix and match. Now, this section, I cannot stress enough, is made so much easier by all the work you can do before the actual sales call itself. If they say, yes, it's doable, and mornings work for me, that is sufficient to move on to the next section of the script. The reason why you don't want to stay in logistics is because sales is an emotional buying experience. People buy with their emotions. Logistically, they can make it. Logistically, the timetable works. Logistically, they booked in a phone call. So move on to the next section, which is the most important part of the entire call, which is the why. Okay, so part 4 of our sales script is to uncover their reasons why, their reasons for change. People buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic. So an example is if someone says they want to lose 20 kilos, it's not to look down at the scales and to see the number. That is not going to make them happy. There is a reason behind wanting to be that number. And typically it is to fit in to a dress. I've got this event coming up. I'm really tired, lacking energy. I want to jump on the floor and play with my kids. So a few years ago, I was selling online high ticket fitness coaching. The price for this 6-month program was between $2,000 to $3,000. Now, the best sales mentor I've ever had, his name is Andrew Polton. He said to me before I started, he said, Jamie, if you don't uncover a $3,000 reason why, it will almost always result in a sale fail. Now, when you're selling low ticket, like a 28-day or 6-week challenge for a gym membership, obviously it's a lot cheaper than $3,000. But use that to your advantage. Still try and find that $2,000 to $3,000 reason why, and you will close a lot more of your sales. So this part of the script, we've gotten some key information. Now, logistics have been taken care of. It's about getting them into that emotional buying pocket. So we start with this question here. So we can definitely help you achieve that 20 kilo weight loss goal. However, a big part of this challenge is keeping you accountable and motivated. So for us to do that, we'd love to uncover your reasons why, your reasons for change. So Sally, why exactly is it so important for you to achieve these goals? So why exactly is it so important for you to achieve these goals? Now, if you get surface level answers, like I want to get fit and healthy, it's probably because you asked the question, why do you want to achieve these goals exactly? Spread it out, use tone, use cadence. And I'm giving her a reason why I'm asking this question. Occasionally on sales calls, a prospect can feel like you're interrogating them, but I'm giving her a reason. A big part of this challenge is to keep you accountable, is to keep you motivated. And for us to do that, we'd love to uncover your reasons why, your reasons for change. So why exactly is it so important for you to achieve these goals? And Sally will still say sometimes, oh, I just really want to lose this weight and get fit. Now, at this point is when you need to start probing. One of my favorite tactics I learned from a book called Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss, and it's mirroring. You want to lose weight? Yeah, I want to lose about 20 kilos. 20 kilos? Yeah, so like I'm currently 100 kilos and I want to get down to 80 kilos. Okay? And how long has this been impacting you? Like when was the last time that you were 80 kilos? Oh, it's been 20 years. 20 years? Yeah, I've been trying to lose weight and I just haven't found the solution thus far. And is there any other area of your life that this is impacting you? Oh, like I'm just always uncomfortable. I'm lacking energy. I don't sleep well. Like I'm going to the doctor. I might need to get a sleep apnea machine. These are things you hear in this section of the script. Now, one of my favorite questions to ask in this section is, and Sally, does your partner know that you're feeling this way? Does your partner or family know that you're feeling this way? And she will say, oh yeah, like he's tired and I've gone on lots of diets and I'm always trying it. Okay, cool. Sally, and does your partner support you in achieving this weight loss goal so you can feel better, so that you can feel more comfortable? Oh yeah, he's really supportive. Partner objection obliterated. So again, oh yeah, I just really want to lose this weight and get fit. Okay, and like how, like, can you expand on that? Can you tell me more about that? Yeah, I just want to lose like 20 kilos. 20 kilos? Yeah, I've been trying to lose this weight for so long. And Sally, like you mentioned before that you're 100 kilos and you want to get down to 80. Like, how long has it been since you had lost those 20 kilos? Okay, and is this impacting you in any other area of your life? And you mentioned that you want to feel better. Like, what does that look like for you? Just so I understand, what do you mean by that? What I don't want you to do in this section is just to assume you know the answer to something that they say. So they say, I really want to get fitter. Oh yeah, we can help you get fitter. I really want to get fitter. Can you tell me more about that? Yeah, like I've got a doctor's appointment in a week's time and they're thinking about putting me on insulin, like for type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes? That sounds like trouble. Yeah, like I can't go down that path because I need to be healthy for my family. So by saying that one thing, can you tell me more? Can you expand on that? What does that look like? What do you mean by that? It allows them to really open up. One of the things that you can use really well in this section is silence. Now, coming from someone who talks a lot, this is difficult, but silence can be used to your advantage. People do not want to sit in silence. It makes them feel uncomfortable. And when you ask someone a question, hey, like if you lose these 20 kilos, like what does that mean to you? And you pause and there's silence. The sales rep gets nervous and then says, oh, so you can lose dress size, so you can feel fitter, so you can feel healthier. You've asked them a serious question. If you pause, it gives them time to think, time to breathe, and they'll give you a truthful answer. So uncover a reason why. Now, this is probably my favorite part of the call. What we're going to do now is we're going to send them into the future. We're going to send them to a place where they can imagine and visualize that they have achieved all of their goals. So you would ask this question. Okay, Sally, thank you so much for sharing all of that. I can understand why losing these 20 kilos is so important to you. If you wake up tomorrow and you achieved that weight loss goal and you were in the dress and you had the energy and you felt great, how would that feel? How would that feel? And you will hear a smile on the phone call. And that's, oh, that would be so amazing. I can't even imagine that. Like, I just want that so bad. So you've taken them from someone who wanted to get fit and healthy. You've got a really deep reason why. They understand it's important. You've created urgency. You overcome your partner objection, and now are sending them into the future to lighten the mood of the call. And they can visualize it, and it makes them happy. And when you hear that process from pain, they're facing reality, to like what they actually want to accomplish, even you as the sales reps, you understand, well, this is really important to this prospect. And again, the reason why I fucking love sales is because you can truly change someone's life by having a conversation and helping them walk down a path that they know they should walk down, that you know they should walk down, and we just need to eliminate all of the barriers and all of the roadblocks. Because if Sally hasn't lost weight for 20 years, there is something broken. And what I mean by that, there is a flawed way of thinking. She continues to put this off. She continues to kick this can down the road. We need to address that so that she does make a decision. Now, after future state, when you're selling low ticket, I think, my belief, that is enough to transition into the pitch of your product. However, it's very rare, but if it does happen and you have someone who is extremely cold, extremely non-responsive, not really opening up, and you haven't got that $3,000 reason why, I will then transition into the cost of inaction. So what happens if they don't achieve their goal? As we know, people move away from pain before they move towards pleasure. It's a more powerful motivator. So, Sally, such an amazing goal. I can tell you have some really strong reasons why. I can tell that future really excites you and why it's so important that you act today. Notice today, creating urgency. How long has it been since you felt like that? So now we're bringing them back to the present. So pain. They're in the future. They're feeling hopeful. False optimism is a huge flaw for people that have been overweight for a long period of time. They think they can achieve it. Now we bring them back to reality where you haven't achieved it and it's been a really long time. How long has it been since you've been there? How long has it been since you felt like that? And they all say, oh, like, yeah, like, I said 20 years, but it's probably 30. Okay. Now, if you really want to press, this is the cost of inaction. I understand your goals and where you're at, what you're running towards. What I want to ask you is, what happens if you don't lose these 20 kilos and you don't feel better and have more energy? And what if you continue down the same path you are now? You've gone down the last 20 years. What would that look like for you? What would that look like for you? So I understand your goals and where you're at and what you're running towards. You want to lose these 20 kilos so you can insert reason why. But what happens if you don't? What happens if you don't change anything about your current situation and you go down the same path for the next 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or even 2 decades? What would that look like? And they'll sometimes get really upset. Like, oh, I can't allow myself to do that. I won't do that. Like, I've had enough. I'm not doing it again. And at this point, if they still haven't opened up, and I've never done this on low ticket, once they tell you I can't do it, I have to make a change. I don't want to go down this pathway. I have to stop this. You could then ask them, if you do continue to go down that path, are you willing to accept that? And again, they will say no, get upset. What I mean get upset is in like you get them to a point where they know that they have to change. So if you look at the psychology, we've got a huge goal. We've uncovered their deepest reasons why. From there, we've asked them, what happens if you achieve that goal? How would that feel? We sent them into the future to visualize it. And then from there, how long has it been since you've been there? We bring them back to the present. And then from there, we're like, you haven't achieved this goal for 20 years. What happens if you continue to go down that path and you don't achieve it now? So I can't do this. I need to change. And if you do go down that path, are you willing to accept that? And if you're wondering, wow, my process isn't anything like that, I'm not surprised I don't make more sales over the phone or in person. I heard a business coach the other day say that in Australia, you can't get card details over the phone, which is a crazy thing to say, right? But you can't get card details over the phone because you haven't sold like this, right? So Mitch and I have made every sale since 2019 over the phone, and we did it out of necessity because we had multiple locations and we couldn't do in-person consultations at once. So if you do this process and you do it correctly, you'd be amazed at how much prospects can open up. You would be amazed at what answers you get, and you'd be amazed at how many people you actually sell. Because once again, you have created the gap. There is a desire. You push the button on hang on, do you really want it? Tell me why you want it. You sent them into the future. They've imagined this new reality. You brought them back to where they are, which is their current state, which they haven't changed for 20 years. And now you've asked them, well, what happens if you don't change? So I hope this helps. The next section, we're moving into the pitch. Okay, so part 5 of our sales script is going to be the hardest for me to give you the exact words to say. This is where emotional intelligence and being an excellent sales rep comes in handy, because the pitch will be different for every single person, because you want to paint a beautiful picture of why this solution is the right answer, while at the same time not overwhelming them. Now, the biggest mistake I see in this section of the script is sometimes they pitch right at the start of the phone call and they tell them everything there is to know about their service before they have a goal. Don't do that. You'll sound like a salesperson. The second biggest mistake I hear is when people get into extreme detail about the actual program itself. Yep, we have barbells, kettlebells, rowers, skiers, bikes. We focus on a 12-week periodized progressive overload program where you track your macros, you track your calories. The last 4 weeks of the program, you do some carb backloading so you can sleep better at night, so you can get more REM sleep, so you can push even harder for the next power block. No one cares and no one knows what that means. And as fitness professionals, we care so much about the actual fitness component. We forget that the majority of people don't get off the fucking couch and go for a walk. So the program, the pitch has to be something that they think is a chance of them being successful in your program. So the pitch would start with this. Well, based on what you said, I think that we could definitely help you, and I think it would be a great fit for our program. So I'd love to tell you more about it. Is that okay? You always want to ask permission to pitch, because now they are all ears. Now from here, this is where we give them the price. I'm not a huge fan of giving the price after the pitch or right at the end of the phone call. And the reason being is, imagine you go through the entire phone call. Yep, our price is $240. Okay, thanks, I'll think about it. You've got no time to recover if they are shocked by the price or they have more questions. So the cost of our 28-day challenge is $60 per week. Pause. The total cost of our challenge is $240. Pause. The reason why I like pitching the weekly cost as opposed to the total cost first is because people are terrible at maths. And what if the program is 280 divided by 4? Off the top of my head right now, I think that is 70 a week. The point is they have to do some math, and you don't want to confuse them again, give them a reason to need to think about it. So again, the total cost of our 28-day challenge is $60 per week. The total cost of the challenge is $240. Be super clear with the weekly cost. Be super clear with the total cost. Pause after you say the weekly and total cost and make sure that they hear it. Sometimes you'll hear them say, yeah, okay, yep, fine. Like just they're almost nodding, agreeing. They kind of thought that's what it was anyway. Occasionally, you will get the gasp like, oh, I thought this was something else, or I thought the price was different. Now, if that's the case, that is the exact reason why I like pitching the cost here, because now you can explain away their concerns. So people buy with emotions and then justify with logic. The pitch and the value they get is them justifying with logic. It also gives them time just to think about the price in general. Okay, so when you pitch your program, we love 3 core pillars. The first pillar is it has to be effective. The second pillar is it has to be enjoyable. And the third pillar is that it has to provide you with a ton of support. Now, you might think that is really basic, but don't forget, you are dealing with people that are not solution aware. They want a basic solution to their problem. Now, the reason why I love those 3 core pillars, effective, enjoyable, support, if you really think about why hasn't someone been successful in the past, is because number one, it wasn't effective. So they didn't get results. They didn't enjoy the program. They didn't get their butt through the front door. Another reason why someone would stop is because they simply didn't enjoy the program. They didn't enjoy the training. They didn't enjoy the nutrition, and they fell off the wagon. And the third thing would be support and accountability. So yeah, I was good. I actually enjoyed it, and then just went on holiday, never came back. I just need that accountability and support. So the reason why I love these 3 core pillars, it is such basic language for them to understand, and you can tie something to each pillar. So this section here, the goal is to bring things from the why, from situation, from what have they tried previously, and paint this beautiful picture of why these pillars are the reason why they're going to be successful this time and the reason why they weren't successful last time. So to ensure that our program is successful, it's based on these 3 core pillars. Number 1 has to be effective. Number 2 has to be enjoyable. Number 3, we have to provide you with a ton of support. Is it okay if I run you through that? And they will say yes. Cool. So the first pillar is it has to be effective. And what I mean by that is we have to get your butt through the front doors between 2 to 4 times per week. Our most successful members average 3 sessions per week. Combined with making some slight adjustments outside with nutrition and being a little bit more active, in the first 28 days, we've seen members have amazing results where they do lose weight, they do have more energy, and they do feel better, which is the goal that you want to accomplish. Does that make sense? You get clarification and you tie off that pillar. So the most successful members get through the front door between 2 to 4 times per week. On average, they average 3 sessions per week. In the first 28 days, if you can get your butt through the front door and make some slight adjustments outside of the studio, you can feel better, you can have more energy, you can start that weight loss journey. Does that make sense? And they'll say yes. Because what would be effective would be me talking about, so in the first 28 days, we're going to get you into the first session. We're going to do a 10-minute warm-up to start. Then we're getting into our strength component. Then we're getting into our cardio component. Then that's just not it. To ensure that you get results, you need to make sure that you're eating healthy outside of the gym, tracking your calories, tracking your macros, drinking more water, giving up alcohol. For them to get effective results, if you actually explain to them what it would take for them to lose that weight, they would never start to begin with. So let's give people what they want, and then on the inside, we can show them what they need. So get your butt through the front door, make some slight adjustments outside of the gym. We've had our members, results, energy, lose weight, and they will buy into that. Now, the second core pillar, in my opinion, is the most important pillar. I actually say that on the script. So the second core pillar is you have to enjoy yourself. Because period, point blank, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you are just going to return to old habits. You mentioned before that you're at Anytime Fitness and you just didn't enjoy it and you stopped going. Well, here at XYZ Gym, we make sure that you do not only enjoy the workouts, enjoy the food that you're eating, but more importantly, we meet you where you're at your current level of fitness. You'll have my word, we'll never make you do anything that you're not comfortable doing. We can start you off nice and slow. In conjunction with that, we've got friendly members that are starting at the same time as you at the exact same level of fitness. Over the next 28 days, our goal is to make this your favorite part of the day. Pillar number 2 is the vast majority of people fail in fitness because they don't enjoy what they're doing. They don't enjoy the training or don't enjoy the food. So pillar number 2 is you have to enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're just going to return to old habits. And you will hear them nod along, yeah, I know. And to ensure that you enjoy it, we'll meet you at your current level of fitness. Making sure that we work around any injuries that you have, making sure that you actually enjoy the exercise, you enjoy the food. So this becomes a new habit. This is something you can see yourself doing for a long period of time so that you can achieve XYZ goal for XYZ reason. So those second pillars, when I pitch enjoyment 1, enjoyment 2, slightly different. And that's why this section is hard for me to write out for you. But I want you to think about whatever program you sell, whether it's combat, Pilates, yoga, jazzercise, Kempo, karate, Muay Thai, BJJ. We have sold all those modalities with this script because no matter what modality of fitness it is, it has to be effective, it has to be enjoyable, and they have to have support. Okay, Sally, so last but not least, the third core pillar is we have to provide you with a ton of support and accountability. Now, what that looks like is you have a one-on-one trainer outside of the gym, keeping you accountable, making sure that you get your butt through that front door, giving you a massive high five when things are going well. And I dare say, a kick up the backside if you need it, and they will always laugh. Simple as that. So the third core pillar is support and accountability. Sally, you mentioned before that you did enjoy going to an F45. However, you went on a holiday and didn't come back and you just fell off the wagon. Well, here at XYZ Gym, we actually provide you with a one-on-one accountability support buddy outside of the gym to text you if you miss a session, to ensure that you get your butt through that front door, to give you a massive high five when things are going well, and I dare say a friendly kick up the backside if they're not. So pillar number 1, it's effective. Pillar number 2, it's enjoyable. Pillar number 3, you have tons of support. So put yourself in the prospect's shoes. They booked in a phone call. We've discovered their goal. We've created a gap. What have they tried previously? Well, what didn't they like? What did they like? We've mentioned that in the pitch. We've got a really great why. Why do they want to achieve this goal? And now we've pitched a solution that's going to be effective for them to get to their goal so they can enjoy the way they get to their goal and to have that accountability to ensure they achieve their goal long term. And in their head, that is everything they've ever needed to be successful. And you want to tie these 3 core pillars is that this is the reason why you haven't been successful in the past. Sometimes it's effective, but you don't enjoy it. Sometimes it's effective and you enjoy it. Sometimes you have no accountability. Sometimes it's effective, you have accountability, but you just hate it so much that you don't want to do it anyway. So those 3 core pillars will help you sell a lot more memberships. Now, towards the end of the 3 core pillars, I like to summarize it. So to summarize, what we really want to do is help you achieve XYZ goal for XYZ reason. And we want this to be the start of a new journey. We want this to be your new lifestyle, your new normal. Does that make sense? So now we're also future pacing them in the sense of like, hey, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to stay well beyond 28 days, 6 weeks, and I'm going to keep these results off, keep this weight off for the rest of my life. So this pitch is maybe the most important reason why we can sell across all different modalities of fitness, because you don't need to be an expert in Muay Thai to sell Muay Thai. When I was selling high ticket, I was selling to women over the age of 50 that are menopausal. I'm a man. I'm not over 50. I'm a man and I'm not going through menopause. So how could I sell that? Because I wasn't talking about the particulars of menopause. I was talking about them getting effective results on menopause, them enjoying the process as much as possible while going through menopause, and the support and accountability to regulate their emotions while going through menopause. So these 3 pillars will help you sell any prospect that comes across you, no matter what modality of fitness it is. To summarize, always ask permission to pitch. From there, pitch the price, weekly first pause, total second pause. Make sure they heard it, let it sink in. And then from there, pillar 1, effective. Pillar 2, enjoyment. Pillar 3, tons of. Okay, so part 6 of the sales script breakdown is the trial close and the close. In my opinion, the most important part of the script, because you can do every single thing right up until this point. But if you don't trial close correctly, if you don't ask for the sale, and if you don't close the sale, it will slip through your fingers. You will think ads don't work. You will think sales don't work, and you will question the meaning of life. That's how important this section of the script is. I would never encourage this, but you can absolutely blast through a sales call. Not much empathy, not asking many questions, not really giving a fuck about their why or what their goal is or why they are on the call in the first place. And if you trial close really hard and you close really hard, you will probably make more sales than the reverse of that, where everything's perfect, but you don't close. So if you have the perfect sales call and you get to this section, this is how you end the call. Now, what a trial close is effectively you are asking them, is this program for you? Do you want to move forward? Do you have any concerns? But the way you ask the question is not a definitive yes or no. You'll see what I mean in a second when I show you what the question is, and I read out the question with the right tone, the right cadence, because I'm just generally curious in this part of the section. Hey, is this program potentially for you? So I'm going to finish off the 3rd pillar again. So you've gone through pillar 1, pillar 2, pillar 3. So if I could summarize this 6-week challenge, we want to help you to create positive habits, a sustainable lifestyle change. And what that means is you'll reach your goal and you'll keep those results. Does that make sense? Notice
the tone, notice the pause. Does that all make sense? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm asking a question. Like, I don't know if you understand why this program's good. I don't know if you understand those 3 core pillars. They will say, yep, yeah, it all makes sense. And did anything stand out or resonate in particular? Did anything stand out or resonate in particular? And just so I know, like, what stood out to you? And just so I know, like, what resonated with you in particular? Now, when you ask that question, the prospect will refer typically to one of the 3 pillars. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the 3rd pillar, support. Yeah, like, I think I really, really need some help. I need that support inside and outside of the gym. Or, like, I love the fact that you guys changed the workouts based around my injuries. I love the fact that your program sounds like it's fun. And from what you've told me, it's something that I think I can see myself doing for a long period of time. So again, does that all make sense? Yep. And did anything stand out or resonate in particular? Now, if they say something like, yeah, just the support, and they don't expand on that, oh, just what do you mean by support? Can you expand on that? Can you tell me more about why you feel like support is the key for you? And they will double down. Well, like, yeah, I went to this gym before, I started, I stopped, and if I had that person there to message me when I didn't make that session or I came back from holidays, I would still be there today. So if they give a very vague response, did anything stand out or resonate in particular? Yeah, I want to have fun. Oh, you want to have fun? Tell me more about that. Well, like, yeah, I was at this other gym and I was going and I was getting results, but I didn't really enjoy it. And like, it was just an absolute slog. So like, it's really important this is fun. So get them to expand and get them to open up more. Now, from here, what you really want to do is the final trial close. And you would say this. So based on what we've said, do you think this could potentially get you to your goal? Do you think this could potentially get you to your goal? So do you think this could pause? Like, I'm unsure if this is the program for you. Potentially, I'm even less certain this is the program for you. Get you to your goal, upwardsly inflect with a questioning tone. So what I'm effectively saying with this question is, hey, do you want to do this fucking program? But how I'm asking it, the cadence of the question and the tone of the question, I'm genuinely curious. Like, hey, do you think like this could work? And like, it's almost like, hey, off the record, do you think this program is for you? And they're not going to feel trapped or pushed into a corner, whether it's a yes, I'm signing up, or no, I don't want to do this program. Typically, they'll say, yep, it all sounds great. I'm so excited. Sign me up. But sometimes they'll say, oh, like, yeah, like, it sounds really great. It's just in the next 28 days, I am going away for like a week. So what happens there? Now, why this is so great is if you didn't gather that information, she might say at the end, you know what, like, it does all sound good, but like, I just haven't got time. Because she's going away the 3rd week of the challenge. So you're inviting her questions. You want to get the objections in this section so that you can cover it. Yeah, and it all sounds great. Is it okay if I pay that 28-day challenge off next week? Is it okay if I pay half today and half in 14 days? Is it okay if I start in 2 weeks' time as I'm going on holidays? So all these things are logistical reasons why the person wouldn't do the program. And they might think that they can't break up the payment. They might think that they can't break up the challenge duration based on their holidays. So this question, do you think this could get you to your goal? It is everything. Again, on the flip side, hey, while you're on the call, want to lose 10 kilos? Cool. Great. Why is it important to you? Yeah, we can help you do that. Program is effective. It's durable support. Do you feel this could help you get to your goal? And you can loop them and loop them and loop them and loop them and loop them, and they will sign up anyway. However, if you do it like that, you will get a lot more refunds, and they won't end up being good clients. This section of the script is that fucking important. I cannot stress this enough. We have reps on our team that I think are better salespeople, but they lack that killer instinct at the end to close and to close hard. And it comes down to the trial close, and it comes down to closing. Now, in this section of the trial close, occasionally they'll say something like, "Oh, yeah, like it does sound good. I've been down this road before." Now, this is where you need to come over the top with so much conviction that they believe you. They will borrow the certainty from you. They listen. Like, we've got people in our gym, they've done XYZ, have XYZ injury. You're going to be fine, right? So drive that conviction home, drive that certainty home. Before I knew anything about sales, before I was technically a good salesperson, before I had a script, what I did have was fucking conviction that my gym was the best gym in Newcastle for someone who was a beginner to get their butt through the front door, have some fun, and start losing weight. You believe me when I talk like this, and so did they. So drive conviction home when you talk to them in this part of the script. If you sense any type of fear, any type of uncertainty, and you have the rapport, you can come over the top and give them conviction. One of my favorite things to do was to draw an example to someone else in our gyms. So we had a lady in our gym. She was fucking amazing. She had one leg. She would come in and do a full workout. We would make very few modifications. Truly amazing. And so listen, like we got a lady in our gym. She's 52 years old. She's got one leg, and she can get through our workouts, get through our program. So I'm sure you're going to be fine, regardless of whether you're the least fittest person in Newcastle or the fittest person in Newcastle. You have my word. Based on the second core pillar, enjoyment, will start you off nice and slow. So once you trial close them, if there are no logistical objections, and it's more around like fear of not getting a result, fear of being too unfit, this is where you need to come over the top, strong, hard, and fast. And they will borrow that certainty, they will borrow that conviction, and they'll end up signing up. Now, once you trial close them, the next step is to collect their details and to finalize the sale. Keep this short and simple. Awesome. So the next step is to grab some more details and get you booked in for your very first session. How exciting. Pause. Last, final trial close. And they'll say, "Yeah, I'm so excited." If they don't, back to trial closing and loop them again. So you don't want to go past the trial close section or even that question, how exciting, unless it's a hell yes. It's an emphatic yes. You think they're going to sign up. If you know they're going to have questions, if you know they're not going to sign up, and you still go to the close, you're going to get the objection and you know it's coming. So just steer into the snow and deal with it here. So you say, "How exciting?" So, "Yeah, I'm pumped." Okay, great. I have your name, your phone number, your email. Can I please grab your date of birth? Now, you can even read out the name. So I've got your full name, Jamie Richardson. I've got your phone number, 0466 I've got your email, jamie@fitnessbookings.com.au. Can I grab your date of birth, please? And can I grab your address? Now, why I like doing it like this is it actually gets them in the habit of giving you information. You ask a question, they give you the information. And you've asked these questions right before you ask for their card numbers. They've just given you their date of birth. They've just given you the address. They trust you to some extent. Why wouldn't they now give you the card number? Because if you trial close and say, "Hey, what's your card number?" Bit rude, bit abrupt. And they might think this person is a scammer. So I have your name, your phone, your email. Can I grab your date of birth, please? Question mark. Can I grab your address? From here, okay, awesome. We organize the payment via a card number. Do you have a Visa or MasterCard? The good old-fashioned alternate close works to this day. Do you have a Visa or MasterCard? Do you have a Visa? Do you have a card or BSB and account number? So give them an option close and alternate close to choose what would work better for you. 9 times out of 10, it will be a card number. Now, if they say, I haven't got my card number on me, that's no problems at all. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. You want to normalize it. And then from here, you would simply ask, yep, so can you bring up your internet banking? I can grab your BSB and account number. Notice, can you bring up your internet banking? Do you have a BSB and account number? I don't ask, do you have internet banking? Because it's 2025 and every person on earth has internet banking. So I'm assuming they have internet banking, because if you say, do you have internet banking? They can just say no, and you can't call them a liar, right? So just assume, yeah, cool, no problems at all. It happens all the time. I don't know my card number. In this situation, we just grab a BSB and account number. Can you put me on speakerphone, and can you bring up your details? And you can grab it like that. Now, once they give you their card number, once they give you their BSB and account number, you say this and nothing else. We organize the full payment of $299 today. Pause. Let them say something. Like, oh, I can't do it today. Can I break it down half now and half later? But 9 times out of 10, they will just say nothing. And then you run that payment. If you give someone the option to split it up, so we can organize the payment in full, or we can organize like 4 weekly payments. What would work better for you? Who would prefer for you to have their money as opposed to them? You, them. So never give them the option. Just, yep, we organize payments today. Pause. Sometimes you can even run the card number on the phone, which is why it's so great doing sales over the phone. You get it straight away, instant. You can even tell if that payment has bounced or not. And if it has bounced, then you can offer to break it down. So let's just say they do object. Oh, I just can't pay today. Completely understand. We can start payments, insert date. To set up your membership, to activate your account, we need to grow a payment of $1. So if someone can't pay anything today, well, it's safe to assume that they probably have $1 in their bank account. Yep, so no problems at all. Happens all the time. We can start your payments on this date. To set up your membership and to activate your account, we do need to grow a payment of $1. And that is for one reason and one reason only, to make sure the card is legit. So we use Stripe, and when you enter a card number into Stripe, it will tell you instantly if the card number is invalid or it cannot be processed. So that is how you trial close, and that is how you collect details and you finalize the sale. So this section here, the trial close, there's probably the most nuance to this section than the entire script. There's probably the most, how can I say this? This is where like a naturally good salesperson, if they even exist, will come over the top and they'll close way more deals because they're certain, they're convicted, they're confident, they loop them, and they ask for the sale. Some people don't ask for the sale. Yeah, no worries at all. I've given you all the information. I'll send you the details and you can let me know. You have to close the deal. And again, this section of the script is the most important. Again, I wouldn't encourage it, but you can be a terrible salesperson and you can have a really strong trial close. You can collect details with confidence, conviction, and belief, and you will close sales that a really great salesperson won't get because they lack the killer instinct in this. Okay, part 7 of our sales training is based on objections. Now, I'm going to start by saying I really dislike this part of the training. The goal of the script is to overcome all the objections upstream in the phone call. Now, the objections you get here, I would call fear-based objections, meaning they're just scared of getting started. It's not even an objection, it's a stall, a way to kick this can down the road a few more days, a few more weeks, a few more months, and we know sometimes a few more years, which is why you have to be able to overcome this with the exact words that I'm going to give you right now. Now, in saying that, these are fear-based objections. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my partner. Can I come in for one session first? I haven't got my card number, XYZ, because you've tied off all logistics already. The timetable suits, they live close to the gym, and the cost isn't an issue. So someone says to you, I just need to think about it. Completely understandable. Before you go, is there anything in particular that you want to think about so I can send you more information to help you make that decision? They will say something like, oh, I just really want to think about it for 24 hours. It's just the way I am. Completely understand. It makes perfect sense. Besides that, is there anything else? Now, the reason why we ask that question is because occasionally they'll say, I need to talk to my partner too. So if they say, no, that's it, just want to think about it, you've isolated that is the objection. They just want to think about it for 24 hours, which makes no sense at all. Therefore, again, a fear-based objection. You would say this, of course, no worries at all. It's normal that you'd want to think about it. It's challenging to decide until you rip that bandit off and come in for that first session so you can lose those 20 kilos, so you can achieve X, Y, Z, goal for X, Y, Z reason. In this situation, instead of doing 28 days, we can just get you booked in for 1 week instead. That way you can dip your toe in the water without making a larger commitment. This way you can ensure that you make the right decision for you. Sound fair enough? And that is so reasonable. 28 days, maybe too scary, too long of a commitment. Can you come in for 1 week? Keep in mind, they've gone through the ads, through the marketing, they've had a 10-minute call. There is so much sunk cost in that process. 9 times out of 10, that will get them over line. Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, you know what? Like 1 week does sound good. I can do that. Yeah, I'll just do that instead. From there, you just roll their payments, automatically start day 8 of the challenge and roll into 28 days worth of payments regardless. However, if it's still a no goal, I say, oh, you know what? Just like, no, I still want to think about it. Like, I just want to do it. At this point, you would say, we never do this, but I can tell you still don't feel comfortable. Instead of doing 1 week, you can do 1 session. That way you have nothing to lose. You can pop into the gym and see how you feel after that first workout. Is that reasonable? Question mark. Notice, sound fair enough? Of course it's fair. Is that reasonable? Of course it's reasonable. Come in for 1 session. Keep in mind, they've gone through the entire process. That gets the other 90% over the line that objected to the first one. If they say, nah, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. This is where humor is really important. So you could just laugh. Okay, so there is nothing I can say or do today to get you started. The reason I say that is that I'm a coach and my job is to keep you accountable in the gym. So I want to keep you accountable right now so you can achieve insert goal for insert reason. Just between me and you, off the record, what's stopping you from popping down for 1 session? And again, that's very, very effective. Occasionally, of course, it still happens. We don't get them in. We've given them 3 opportunities to get their butt through the front door. If that doesn't work, then just let them go, right? So super proud of it. We sold over 6,100, well over that now, clients into gyms, and we haven't had 1 complaint from an owner or 1 complaint from a prospect to an owner saying they felt pressured over the phone. So the last thing that you want to do when you're objection handling is make someone feel like shit because they can't make a decision. So do it respectfully, do it playfully, use humor, and that is why the rapport is important, so that you can say things in this section to challenge them on their beliefs and their thoughts around why they're not going to start training. So again, we'll go through that again. I need to think about it. Completely understandable. Before you go, is there anything in particular that you want to think about? So I can send you more information to help you make the best possible decision. Oh, I just need 24 hours. Okay, just to really think about the program and XYZ. Cool. Is there anything else? Question mark. Oh no, it's just the way I am. I always like, well, just 24 hours. Okay, of course. It's normal that you want to feel that way. It's challenging to decide until you've ripped the bandit off, so you can come in for that first session, so you can achieve your insert goal for insert Y. In this situation, instead of doing 28 days, we can get you booked in for 1 week instead. That way you can dip your toe in the water without making a larger commitment. That way we can ensure this is the right decision for you. Sound fair enough? Question mark. Still a no-go? We never do this, but I can tell you still don't feel comfortable. Instead of doing 1 week, you can do 1 session. That way you have nothing to lose. You can pop into the gym to see how you feel after that first workout. Is that reasonable? Third one, laugh. So there is nothing I can do today to get yourself into the gym for 1 session. My job is to keep you accountable. I want to keep you accountable on this phone call. So that is how you overcome. I need to think about it. You can also do more tie downs, like, oh, and do you feel like this could work for you? Is this the program for you? And like when you go away and think about it, like Is there anything else that you feel like the program is missing? There are a few more things you can do here and there, but I want to keep this short and simple for you guys to implement and just use those word tracks exactly. Okay, so I need to talk to my partner. Completely understandable. The majority of ladies want to do the same thing. I would ask my partner too. Just so I know, are you asking for permission or more of an FYI type of thing? They will always say, oh, just to run things by him, like we always talk about things before we make decisions. Of course, no worries at all. It's completely normal that you want to run it by your partner. However, at the same time, I can tell how important it is for you to achieve your goal for this reason why. Our new people don't start until the following week, so on the following Monday. In this situation, we can still get you booked in and enrolled for that Monday. If you chat to your partner tonight, and for whatever reason he decides or you both decide that this isn't for you, we can simply cancel the enrollment and payments. Does that make sense? And that works unbelievably well. Completely understand you should absolutely go talk to your partner. I would talk to my partner. So in the situation, we get you enrolled, we organize that first payment. And if you go home tonight and talk to your partner, if you both decide, if he decides that you don't want to continue, we can refund that payment. No harm done. At least that way you're booked in for the session on Monday. How exciting. It's very, very hard to say no to because again, it's very reasonable and it's very fair of us to request that. So that is how you need to overcome. I need to talk to my partner. And the next one, can I come down for a look first? This is one of my favorite ones. It's probably the objection we get the most. The gym is closed outside of session hours, and when sessions are on, trainers are with clients, which is why we do enrollments over the phone. It's normal that you want to come in and have a look. So in this situation, we can just simply enroll you for 1 week, a 7-day no sweat guarantee. If you don't get the first week, we'll cancel the remaining 3. Absolutely nothing to lose whatsoever. That way, when you do pop down, we can have you do that first session. Does that all make sense? How fair and reasonable is that? So I don't want you to think objection handling is this combative environment where you're arguing, they're arguing, and you're trying to pull a fast one or get one over them or logic trap them. That is so fucking reasonable. Can I come down for a look first? I'm basically saying, well, you can come down for a look first, but when you come down for a look, you might as well just do that first session the first week and get going. Sound fair enough? Yeah, it does sound fair enough. So when you are overcoming objections, just make it reasonable. And again, it's just a fear-based objection. So I need to talk to my partner. I need to think about it. Can I come down for a look first? It is just a fear thing. The second they overcome that objection in their own mind, they do commit to that first week or that first session, they forget about the objection in the first place, right? So you have to overcome it. Another one, I want to try 1 session before I commit to 28 days. It's the exact same thing as above, except we go for 1 week also. So of course, that makes perfect sense. A lot of people want to do that first. Besides wanting to try a session first, do you have any other questions? And they'll say I just want to try 1 session to make sure it's for me. Understand. In this situation, what I recommend doing is 1 week instead of 1 session. That way you can attend 2 to 3 sessions and get a great feel for the program and the trainers down at the gym. It's hard to judge 1 session. At the end of the week, if you don't want to continue, I completely understand. If you do, fantastic. You are well on your way to achieve XYZ goal for XYZ reason. Does that all make sense? Enroll them for 1 week. Payments auto commence day 8 and beyond. Can I come in the club and make the payment? We take payments over the phone because when the studio is open and are running, we don't have FPOS facilities. I'm in front of my computer right now, setting up enrollments. Can I please grab a Visa or MasterCard? So I'll repeat that. Can I come into the gym and make the payment? Or I don't feel comfortable giving details over the phone. We take payment over the phone because when the studio is open, sessions are running and we don't have FPOS facilities. I'm in front of my computer right now, setting up all of your payments. Can I please grab that Visa or MasterCard? If they then say, I just don't feel comfortable giving details over the phone, fully understand our members feel the same way before enrolling over the phone. Makes sense. I can assure you that we are safe and secure with your details, and we're an established business that's been open for X number of years, and you'll get a receipt the second I process this payment over the phone. Can I please grab a Visa or MasterCard? They say no. Did I tell you that you can use your BSB and account number instead? It's amazing. It actually works a lot more than you think. It does not have to be a card number. Do you have internet banking ? No. Oh, do you have Apple Pay or Google Pay? you can just tap over the phone. In that situation, we send them a link and they just tap 2 buttons and we get paid. So that is how you overcome objections. Notice in that objections, I didn't have a cost objection because you should have handled the cost further up in the call. So I'm going to end by saying this. If you are an excellent objection handler, you are still going to make less sales than the person that prevents the objections, because you're making things hard for yourself. Overcoming, I need to think about it. I need to talk to my partner. Can I come in for one session? X, Y, Z. It makes life difficult. It makes sales miserable. And if you hate sales, if you don't like sales, if you just think sales is sleazy, you're probably not pre-handling objections correctly. And then you get to the objections and like a bulldozer, you try and overrun someone and then you feel sleazy. So I hope that sales training has really helped. I've enjoyed filming it. And if you do get value from anything that we make, all that we ask is that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. That script is responsible for over 6,100 plus sales. And that is the script that my team uses to sell every type of fitness modality on planet Earth. I'm also very proud to say that I don't think any other person in the world can say that their company has sold over 6,000 clients across Australia, New Zealand, US, across all modalities. And I say that to say that like this script has been tested. It's used hundreds of times a day for the last 12 months, and we've optimized it and changed it to make it better and better and better. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.